ever premier speaker event, which I'm very grateful for, and a couple more after that. And we were in a deep speaker training together. Was it? I don't know, it was like a lifetime ago. And we thought the same speaker, and I was like, I'm running away now. And she approached me and she asked me to speak on Thursday. Yeah, cool, what's your story? What's your own vulnerability? And I was like, oh, that's different. Sure. Now I did have something written down for her, but as far as I'm aware, you are a beautiful human being, and what you do in the world is so great and so needed. And she's driven all the way from Toowoomba to be here.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
So and this is her first time speaking on stage as well.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Or laughs or cries, whatever you feel called to do. Got 10 minutes. And I'll leave the floor to you. Welcome, Libby.
Hello everyone. As commented, my name is Libby, and tonight my virginity is being taken. I'm no longer a speaker virgin.
Yay!
Tonight I'm going to get really vulnerable, probably a little bit contradicting too. This is a story that only people close to me know, and only, well, not many people have seen actually. So I'm going to take you back to 2024, and it was meant to be my 8-year anniversary with my beloved partner. We built the house, we'd done the thing. He told me a million times he wanted to marry me. And for 6 months, all I was chasing was true connection. For him to show up for me in ways that I always showed up for him. For him to be even half of the man that I desired. And so I asked, I begged, I pleaded, still nothing. And we were going away to Bali. We went to Bali in May 2024, which was our anniversary month. Something I'd wanted to do for a very long time, mind you. And as a mummy's boy, Mummy knew best, and I was about to go to Bali, so the previous year we did not. I prepared myself in that trip that I would go as his partner. And there was a very strong chance I would come home alone. As most people in this room probably know, a woman leaves before they leave. And I fought myself when I look back for probably 18 months. I loved this man. I wanted to live my life with this man. But at some point I had to choose me. So of course we went away for our holiday, that our anniversary was over there, and I said to myself, if he remembers our anniversary and says at the least happy anniversary, we're good. We spent our anniversary in a freaking tattoo parlor with his best mate. Fuck it. I just need to get out. I looked in the house, I looked everything in the house, I just took my clothes, my animals, and I left. He very quickly wanted to express to me that he wanted me back and all of that bullshit. I was like, okay, I'll watch, but I'm not going to receive it. Not right now. You need to prove. And for most of you in this room, I'm guessing every single one of you have been in form of personal development room. Am I right?
Yes.
So, so multiple months later, after I left him, I was in. Does anyone in this room know Natalie? Now Katai used to be fucking person. I was sitting in her room. I was sitting in her room, probably about this in the crowd actually. She was sharing a story and I was deeply ingrained in it. She was fresh in a relationship too. And she just said a very short sentence I won't share because it's personal. And it was like something shot me and threw me off my chair. I was down on the ground, I was screaming, I was wailing. And someone tried to help me and I was like, oh nice. And then she's like, no, Leah, she needs to go through this. I was like, that bitch. I'm physically hurting right now and I've got to go through this alone. Okay. Ladies, I respect that. And the very thing I learnt in that room about myself was I killed my own relationship. The man I loved, the man I never wanted to lose, it was me. It was the most confronting thing I've ever had to face in myself ever before, because I thought there was nothing wrong with me. I was doing the work, he wasn't. I was showing up, he wasn't. I was creating my own business, he wasn't. And that's very quickly how I started learning about the masculine and the feminine energy. As a woman who'd been working in a male-dominant industry, building my career, I was so heavily in my masculine that I may as well grab both of my hands and wrap them around his neck so he couldn't breathe. In a world where men and women are so quick to blame each other, there's one thing I'd love to change in this world, it's that we work together. Because men can't work with women, women can't work without men. There is differences with us. There is physical difference within us. And there is things that they can do that we cannot. And as soon as we honour each other for who we are and what we can provide, does that change? So, the wildest part about that, which is a little bit I've missed, when he was asking to get back with me, he was saying all these things, like all of the things that I was so pissed off at. I'm like, do you not realise I do this, I do that, I do this, I do that, like life is fucking great. All of it came through then. And at that very moment it meant nothing. It was like, it's too late. And one thing I would love the women in this room that are dating to hold on to. Although he could sit there and he could explain and accept and own his fuck-ups, the one thing that I said to him, and the one thing I stand by, and I think everyone needs to remember, the only question I had for him after he dumped his guts on me, what the fuck did I do wrong? Because I'm not dumb enough to think that it doesn't take two to tango. I'm not dumb enough to think that I wasn't a part to plan this story. So can you please give me advice? Because whether it's you or whether it's another man, I want to be a better version for my future. So God bless Nat, because he couldn't give me an answer, and being vulnerable in the room that day, because I wouldn't have realised how dramatically I had to change. And so by doing that work, realising those things and going through that journey, it's with a whole heart I get to tell you all that we're getting married in 3 months. Thank you.
nice happy ending. Lovely.
Round of applause, Libby. Yeah.
Yay.
Any questions for you? Two questions. Yes,
Yeah. Don't know if this was your experience. In previous relationships, I found there were parts of me that I either suppressed or disconnected from in order to stay in something that wasn't aligned. Like there was pushing away or not owning of a part of me. Did you experience that? And if so, what was that remembering or reclamation that you went through yourself to step into that relationship in a different way?
As in first relationship, second relationship, say now?
Well, that's, you talk about the same man, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we call it 1.0 and 2.0.
Okay, so between 1.0 and 2.0, what the fuck did you have to like shift within yourself?
I had to
step
soften.
forward. Okay.
I had to soften. You understand that you get hurt, you get jagged, you get let down. Constantly having to stand up for yourself and be the person to show up for yourself. It hardens you. You go, oh, well, I can only rely on myself. So I'm going to stand strong and I'm going to protect myself and I know that I can rely on myself. That was a very barrier I had to draw. Because as a man, you want to provide, you want to protect, you want to hold. And how do you hold a woman that's got herself and is like, I don't fucking need you?
Oh, yes.
You guys worked on communicating to each other in terms of your needs?
Communication has been a lesson that continues gifting us. When you have both, he has had to learn, I think the biggest lesson for both of us was learning how we were trained to communicate within our family structure. So he comes from a family where conflict, arguments, not acceptable. You just don't do them. I come from a family where it's express yourself within reason and maybe you'll get hurt. So I would scream at him and he'd be like, fuck off! That's where it started. Now, I still have a level of comfort to find. So I take probably a couple of days longer than I need to have a conversation. And though, when we get there, there's no yelling. There's a lot of crying. Probably a little bit elevated at tone, but yeah, it's a whole different communication now. Sometimes we have conversations in public, and apparently we're comedians, so.
Great, thank you.